Pokemon Day is only a few days away, and all the while, the internet is exploding with every and any theory and even potential leaks. While I do enjoy that part of the community, this video isn't that. This video is my personal fanboy wants to be announced for this upcoming Pokemon Day. Hey Pokepals, this is Sunbrother2, and like I said before, this list has nothing to do with any leaks, theories floating around the interwebs. It's just my head having fun with wanting the cream of the crop from the Pokemon Company. I know that some, if not all the things I say in this video may be close to impossible, but hey, that's kind of the entire point, to enjoy the what if while we wait for Pokemon Day instead of knowing what will. So before we get into that, please make sure you comment down below your biggest hopes for Pokemon Day, and let's just jump right into it. Number 1 is I want to see excessive amounts of Mega Evolutions shown for Legend ZA. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to be getting information on the Legends game coming out this year, but what I want is for them to show off any and all new Mega Evolutions that could be awaiting for us. Not just tease us with 1 to 3 of them, but just compile any and all Pokemon that have Mega Evolved, that number currently being 48, and just show off that roster and how much it's expanded, and then pan over and showcase even more 10 to 12 new Megas that await us in the new game. Number 2 is the re-release of Generations 1 through 3 for the Nintendo Switch. Now, this does conflict with what I said earlier about not referencing any leaks. However, my thoughts on this are a little bit different. Instead of the 2 bundle packs that I know everybody is talking about, I would prefer them just to do as they did on the 3DS and just have them be their solo titles for the same amount of money, which was $10 for Generations 1 and 2, and then for Generation 3, up it by $5 and make it $15. I see it as an absolute killer move as well if they pulled a Crystal and they put all the events in for post-game. I'm talking Deoxys, Mew, Eon Ticket, etc. That would be money well spent, and don't even stop there. Please, Game Freak, Pokemon, give us Coliseum and XD re-releases on top of that. Those 2 games could really be an entire entry on their own. Oh, and of course, please give us Pokemon Home compatibility day 1. My wallet would cry for a brief moment in time, but it would be so worth it. Number 3 plays off of number 2 in a pretty fun way. I actually got this idea from chatting with a really good friend of mine. For the re-releases, if we do get them, and home compatibility, give us Dex completion awards for more Mythicals. Pokemon has been filling up everyone's spare time this last little bit, trying to fill their decks to 100% with very special rewards, that being shiny legendary Pokemon. Now, I know they're mostly Mythicals, but Mythical is a subcategory of legendary, so I'm just gonna keep saying that. Hate me if you will. Not only would it be a guaranteed way to sell those virtual console games all over again, it would make everyone play them non-stop. One thought I personally had was for Generations 1 with Red, Blue, and Yellow, have the shiny reward be a shiny Mew. Of course, Gen 2 would be a little bit more difficult as shiny Celebi has been in multiple events over the past few years and is actually huntable in Pokemon Crystal right now. So, the idea that I had was why not have the gift be shiny Zarude da form. It already gives reference to the shiny Celebi with its cape and the number 251, and not to mention the movie that came out with it, and with Sword and Shield already having gifted Keldeo for their Dex completion, I really think that this is a fun idea. And for Generation 3, this is where it gets crazy. Have the Dex completions for these games gift a shiny Deoxys, because for those of us that do remember, depending on the game you catch Deoxys in, it actually had a version-specific form, that being normal for Ruby Sapphire, attack form for Fire Red, defense form for Leaf Green, and finally speed for Emerald. That would be such a cool way to introduce and have that fun mechanic be shown in these games. Then, overall, for Generation 3, if you're somehow able to collect all 386 Pokemon, have the final reward be a shiny Jirachi. Now, number 4 is a tease of either a black and white remake or even a Generation 10 teaser. Pokemon really pulled a fast one on the entire fanbase by announcing Legend ZA, which of course is Generation 6. Now the weird thing is we never got our official Generation 5 remakes for whatever reason. Now personally, I know everybody was expecting Generation 5 as Pokemon was following a trend, as the last games that were remade were Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So going off of that, I was expecting the next Legends game to be Generation 5 remakes, so that way we could have gotten the story of the two brothers that forced the original dragon to separate into Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem. Those games basically write themselves, but alas, no Gen 5, we were heading back to Kalos. Either that, or a tease of Generation 10, the same way that Scarlet and Violet were announced originally, would be perfect to end off the Pokemon Day stream. Pokemon is coming up on their 30th anniversary. I personally believe there's no way that Pokemon doesn't release Generation 10 next year in 2026. But all the hype being on the Legend ZA games right now, I feel is the right moment just to hit us with a hook from nowhere and have either of those game teases be in their back pocket for the last few moments of the Direct. And finally, number 5, gift the remaining shiny locked Pokemon throughout the year. Like I mentioned before, Pokemon is turning 30 years old in 2026. It would be a really cool way to give back to the community and gift us all those remaining shiny locked Pokemon month by month, similar to what they did back in 2016 for their 20th anniversary, where they released gifted Mythicals every month of that year. The way I'm counting it right now is there are actually 12 unreleased shiny Pokemon, disregarding their evolutions. I'm looking at you, Cosmog and Cubfu. Those being Victini, Hoopa, Volcanion, Cosmog, Magearna original color, because yes, they do have different shiny forms, even if Magearna's doesn't change, Marshadow, Cubfu, Zarude, Glastrier, Spectrier, and Calyrex. Boom! There's your monthly events, and then you just release the Scarlet and Violet ones over the next 30 years, and start fresh. Anyway, like I said, this is just 100% pure fanboy hopes and dreams and speculation. There is no way, shape, or form holding any grounds in reality. But it's always fun to put these videos together. Once again, please let me know down in the comments your biggest hopes and dreams for Pokemon Day, and who knows, dreams come true every now and then, and maybe someone's comment will. Right now, my biggest hope is that you'll subscribe for more videos like this, and you'll check out this playlist right here. Thank you all again, and I'll see you for Pokemon Day real soon.